thewellnesscouch.com, streaming wellness into your lives.
You're listening to The Healthy Shift Worker with your host, Audra Starkey.
Hello and welcome to the Healthy Shift Worker podcast. My name is Audra Starkey and I'm here to help you to manage some of the toughest challenges we faced whilst working 24/7. We're going to be changing tack a little today and talk about a topic that I actually haven't discussed on any of my episodes before. It's definitely been in the back of my mind, but until now, I haven't really found the right person or the right people to talk about, and that being how our body and skincare can influence our health. So in today's episode, I brought in the lovely Candice and Matt Bauer from Bauer by Bauer to talk all things natural body and skincare. Candice and Matt are based up in Bundaberg in Queensland and run their business from home around their day jobs, although Candice, there is some night jobs woven in there because she's a registered nurse. So definitely knows some of the pains and struggles associated with working 24/7. So I'm just going to jump straight in here and welcome Candice and Matt to the podcast. Hey, guys.
Hey, Audra.
Hey, Audra. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
It's awesome. It's awesome to have you. So good to have you. And for Candice, this is actually your second appearance on the Healthy Shift Worker podcast, because we had you on at the end of last year, episode number 65, which is not that long ago. But this time we've got your hubby joining us, Matt. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Audra.
Look, I met you both in person when I visited Bundaberg last year to run a Healthy Shift Worker wellness event. And I must say, guys, I was really blown away by your hospitality. You're both such lovely, down-to-earth people. And, Candice, you make the most amazing Snickers slice, can I just say?
Thank you.
You were the best guest too, Audra. So it goes both ways.
Oh, gee, thanks. Gee, thanks. But that Snickers slice, that was incredible. And obviously we're not talking about the store-bought Snickers slice here. That was a homemade, from cashews and so forth. It was incredible.
Thank you. It is definitely one of our favourites.
Yeah.
We might actually have some tonight for dessert.
Yeah,
Oh, no, don't. That's mean. That is so mean. Matt, does she cook like that every night?
Yes. Yes.
True. Oh, geez, you've landed on your feet, haven't you?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right, because I moved straight out of home from Mum and Dad's in with Candice, so I really didn't rough it at all.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you definitely need to hang on to her because she's the most amazing food. I think the Bundaberg B&B that I stayed up there was had a definitely 5-star rating on the food, that's for sure, and hospitality. But look, first and foremost, I guess for our listeners, it would be really good to kind of learn a little bit about yourselves, like what you both do. As I said, I've kind of alluded before that Candice, you are a registered nurse. But yeah, what do you both do, obviously, around running this business?
Cool. So, I'm Candice, and I'm here with my husband, Matt, and thank you for having us on the show today. So my full-time job is a registered nurse, and that has been for about 8 years now. I've always had an interest in health after my own health issues, so that is what led me to decide to study nursing. Since then, I've gone on to complete a postgraduate in nursing, and I'm also currently studying functional nutrition through the Functional Nutrition Academy, which is a recognised training organisation run by the amazing Cindy O'Meara. Mm-hmm. Apart from that, in my spare time, I love to read, get outdoors, and eat delicious, wholesome food and drink kombucha.
Love that.
It is a good way to sum it up. So I'm Matt. I've been married to my amazing wife for 3 years. Work full time at an engineering firm. I'm the structural design manager there, and I've been working for over a decade now with them. I suppose I'm bit of an ideas man. I like sort of dreaming up different ideas, and I enjoy a bit of creative design as well, which weaves in really nicely with the Bear by Bauer that we do. So we do like the website and a few things like that. So, yeah, that's where I really enjoy it. And I like going to the beach and hitting the gym. That's a bit about me.
Awesome. So if you've been there for 10 years, did you start when you were 15?
I'm actually, what am I now?
28.
28. I'm 28 actually. So
29 this year.
29.
Oh, you old thing. You old.
Yeah, I've been there since I finished school.
Wow.
I did experience with them during school to get in there. So, yeah, been with them for a long time.
Cool. So that means you got long service.
Yes. Just got to work out what we're going to do with it.
Take it.
Yeah.
That's what you do with it. But, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, working out, to get the time off and so forth. So, cool. Yeah. Interesting. So, obviously, fairly different occupations with what you're doing. What led you both on the path to creating Bear by Bauer around your day jobs? I'm quite curious of whose idea was it?
So I guess it was sort of both of our ideas. I had already.
I love that. Sort of both.
It sort of was. So I had already created Bear by Bauer as a social media page to share wellness tips and healthy recipes. And then once I entered my own health journey after deciding to stop taking the pill, and the result of that was, post-pill amenorrhea, which is no period, and post-pill acne, which I'm still healing from. It led me to reevaluating my whole life, basically. So I worked out that I already had the healthy eating thing sorted, but needed to go more low tox in my home and skincare. So I realized that what I was putting on my skin wasn't necessarily the best option to support my healing. So after looking at heaps of different brands, I was struggling to find a transparent brand who was very open about their ingredients, but who also had an ethos that aligned with my own values, whilst also remaining affordable. So I decided, why not make my own? So after months of research and experimenting, I was eventually making most of my own products. My friends and family started gaining some interest in what I was doing and were asking questions, and they wanted to try some. So, I gave some out, and after receiving some amazing feedback, Matty, being the ideas man that he is, was like, why don't we just turn Bear by Bauer into a proper business and give everyone the opportunity to appreciate the products that I was making?
Yeah, that's right. So Candice started making more and more products, ready for sale, while I did up a website and branding, the business side of things.
Got it.
So, yeah. So I guess it was both of us that created what it is now as Bear. So definitely a team business.
But you've really brought each other's own skills on board.
Yeah, that's right.
I think we complement each other well in the business.
Yeah, definitely, and that can be a hard thing to achieve, particularly from a couple's perspective. So, and look, I'm sure that you're not going to admit it on air right now that there are moments that you have disagreements on things, like with everything. But as a whole, it sounds like you've kind of really worked out, Candice does this and Matt does this, and it's really helped to, because it's grown so much just since, I think when we first met, you just seem to be getting more and more products on board.
Yeah. I know. We've been up and running for 12 months officially in February. So,
happy birthday coming up. Happy first birthday coming up. Cool. That's awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, things are rolling out very fast though. It's really good.
Yeah, definitely. Because look, there's definitely that growing interest in, the organic spray-free fruits and vegetables, as much healthier alternatives. But Why, I guess, for people that are listening that may not have, thought about this, like what we're actually putting on our skin, why should, we as a population be concerned about what's going on our skin? Whether that's skincare, cosmetics, deodorant. Because I know you've done so much research on this.
Yeah, well, I suppose for a starting point, your skin is the largest organ and it's got the ability to absorb almost anything that it's exposed to.
Yeah.
So, and in some cases, it only takes a few seconds to start absorbing. So, for a starting point, I suppose that's a really big point that people don't quite understand. And while there's a lot of controversy over how much our skin actually absorbs and how long it takes, as each compound is different, there's absolutely no doubt that the fact that we do absorb things through our skin and that from there they then make their way into the bloodstream. Once it enters your bloodstream, the substance can travel to any of our organs, your heart, your liver, brain, or your gut. So, yeah, it's...
So something that really stood out to me in a bit of research that I was doing was the Environmental Working Group did a study in 2004 on umbilical cord blood and found that a total of 287 different chemicals, including industrial chemicals, pesticides, fire retardants, and plastics, and countless more, were in the blood samples. So,
wow, my goodness.
I know. So of these 287 chemicals that were detected in the umbilical cord blood, 180 of them are known to cause cancer in humans or animals. 217 of them are toxic to the brain and nervous system, and 208 cause birth defects or abnormal development in animal tests.
And that's just what's known now.
Yeah. So that means that all of these chemicals are absolutely, no doubt about it, entering our blood system because they're being found in umbilical cord blood. So that's a baby fresh out of its mum, the chemicals are obviously crossing the placental barrier. And if it's crossing that barrier, then what's stopping it crossing other barriers into our vital organs, like Matt mentioned, our heart, our liver, our brain, our gut. Yeah, so that just really blew my mind.
That is mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. And something, while you were talking, Candice, which sort of came to my mind, is that and you would know more than all of us, obviously, is some of the effects of these individual chemicals on our health. But when we've got this concoction going on, how do we know what's going on there? That's just going to kind of amplify potentially, the effects on our health.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Who knows what happens when all of these chemicals are mixed together and how they work synergistically. But we do know, as I said before, that a lot of these chemicals are known cancer-causing agents. They can wreak havoc with our hormones and have the potential to cause birth defects. And like I said before, they've been found to be toxic to the brain and nervous system, which can then be implicated in an array of health problems like Alzheimer's, learning difficulties, behavioural problems, anxiety, depression. The list is endless. But, yeah, like you mentioned, I feel like the main concern is that we don't know how these things act together. They've only been studied singly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And all of these chemicals are so new in comparison to the history of Mother Nature. So we really don't have enough data to know what the true long-term health consequences of repeated exposure to these synthetic substances are. I feel like it's all very too new to know the true health implications.
Definitely, and that's going to take time, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So, personally, we decided that we'd prefer not to risk it and just harness the amazing goodness of Mother Nature instead.
Sounds like a great idea. I love it. It's just spawned from this little idea that you started and then it's just become into a business. while you were doing your research, when it came to the negative side effects, was there any one chemical? I know you've sort of touched on a few already, and was there any one chemical in particular that you found to kind of have really notable kind of side effects, and yet it's actually found in so many everyday skincare products that we might just pick up in, our regular supermarket?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would probably say there's two big ones for me, and that's parabens and phthalates. They really stand out to me because they're endocrine disruptors, which I'll talk about a bit more in a second. So parabens are commonly used as preservatives in body products and deodorants. Like I said, they're endocrine disruptors, meaning that they have the potential to mimic our natural hormones, predominantly estrogen. So this means that the body is tricked into believing that these chemicals are its own, and it tries to use it as such, which doesn't work how it should. So this has been linked to interfering with gene expression and birth defects, reproductive issues, low sperm count, early onset puberty and menopause, and breast cancer. So there's been quite a few studies actually that have found parabens in human breast cancer tissues. So the good thing about parabens are that they're easily detectable on ingredient labels, and they will have the word paraben in it, but it's usually with a prefix like methyl or ethyl or propyl or butyl, something like that. So they are quite easily recognised. The other ones that are a bit trickier are phthalates. So they're known endocrine disruptors like parabens, and they've also been linked to asthma, ADHD, obesity, type 2 diabetes. A very common one is BPA. Most people will be aware of that because they're in plastics, and we can get a lot of BPA-free options now because of the issues that have been linked to phthalates. So, like I said, they're in plastics. They're used to make toys, but they're also found in a huge range of personal care products like shampoo, makeup, body wash, and they're quite often hidden by the word fragrance or perfume.
Okay. Yep.
This is really tricky for the consumer, but especially when the labels say something like natural fragrance, because these fragrance things can contain up to 400 or so different chemicals in that one ingredient. So to me, that just really blows my mind, and it makes sense. Like, I feel like, just use a natural essential oil, because not only do they offer remedial benefits, but they also give a truly natural fragrance. The phthalates being found in plastic is the main reason why we use glass packaging where possible to minimize this exposure. And not only this, these chemicals are, problematic for humans, but also the environment, because most of what we use every day in our body products ends up getting washed down the drain, which goes out to feed our marine life. And who knows what these plasticizers and endocrine disruptors do to them. And then we, as humans, go and eat the marine life. So it's a vicious cycle, but I feel like it's one that's easily avoidable if you know how to read ingredient labels. So my biggest advice on that would be, if you don't know what it is, don't buy it, or at least go and look it up on the Environmental Working Group Skin Deep website. I found that a really handy resource.
Is that like an app that people can download and take it shopping with them? Or is it more of just a website?
They do have an app, I believe, but I tend to use the website more because because it's American-based, they don't have our product brands in there, so I look up individual ingredients rather than a product as a whole.
Got it. Yeah.
I mean, like, from my point of view as a male, not using too many skincare products, for me it's definitely like a cocktail of ingredients in deodorants that shocked me the most at the start, because deodorant was one of our first products that we released because of what's in your stock standard deodorant that you'll buy off the shelf at the supermarket. So, like these ones that you'd normally buy are filled with aluminium, which is associated with Alzheimer's and breast cancer, which, some companies, they'll advertise like a 48-hour protection, as if it's a good thing for their deodorant too.
Yeah.
So you've got to wonder what they're putting in there. It's just not right. And I suppose it's clogging up our pits, which the whole idea of your armpits is it's supposed to release all your toxins and so on from your body. That's where it should.
Down.
Yeah, it's like our air conditioner for our body. It's where it's releasing and keeping you cool, whereas we're completely stopping that natural process.
Yeah, putting like a plug on it almost, aren't we?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I think you've made such a valid point. I mean, I know when I will stand in the skincare section or health care section within the supermarket, and you're looking around and at all these shampoos and so forth, and every time you turn around and look at the ingredients, there's like 8 rows of stuff. And hard to pronounce. Obviously we talk a bit about it from the food perspective, but when we're talking about it from going on our skin, it's like worse. It's
Well, I guess we like, with the food philosophy, less is more. Like, you don't want something that has lots of ingredients on it. You want it as close to its natural form as possible.
Yeah, definitely. So for our actually, one question I was going to ask, in all of the research that you've kind of come across, was there any particular chemical that because you're mentioning about Alzheimer's disease and so forth, but anything that came up in regards to insomnia?
So I haven't come across that individually, but in saying that, I haven't researched the link between these chemicals and sleep, which I will put on my to-do list because I'm curious.
I'll give you a little project for you there.
Flagged on my list. But like my thoughts would be that if these chemicals have already been shown to affect our brain and our neurotransmitters, causing Alzheimer's, behavioural problems, like who knows what it does to affect our sleep. It's just such an unknown, and my assumption would be that it definitely has an effect on sleep.
I suppose anything that's unnaturally disrupting any part of your body, it's disrupting, your relaxation. It's, it comes into everything. Everything's intertwined.
Yeah. But the good thing is that, you can use certain products on your skin or in your skin and body routine that help promote sleep, using things like magnesium oil and lavender and rose petals and all these calming, essential oils and products that help promote sleep. So something that we make is bath tea, which has magnesium in it in the form of Epsom salts blended with lavender and rose, and that is really encouraging sleep because it promotes such deep relaxation. So there's things that you can do by making the switch to natural products to help sleep.
I've been lucky enough to have some samples of your bath tea, and I do very much like them. It's like shut the door and the husband is not allowed to come in. I'm in here for a good hour. It's really, really, really good. But just get back to that point, because I think so many it's a generalisation, but so many people, have their little bit of a skin routine before bed, don't they? Like they're removing all their makeup and then they're replacing it with something else. Who would know that, or potentially that what they're putting on their skin just before they're about to go to bed could potentially be disrupting their sleep in some way, shape or form.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And with anxiety, for example, anxiety is a big driver behind why a lot of people can't sleep. So, yeah, that's definitely something to kind of think about. But I look forward to hearing back to you on that one as well.
Yeah, you on that one.
For our listeners that are wanting to do their own research, where have you sourced most of your research from? Could you kind of point us to some really good websites?
Yeah, so like I said or mentioned earlier, the Environmental Working Group is a massive resource for me. I love the amount of information that they offer, and it's so easily digestible. It links to relevant journal articles if you need it. It gives you a rating as to from 0 to 10 as to how potentially harmful this could be, and it has like a traffic light system. So green is good, orange is maybe, and red is try avoid it if you can. But other than that, just journal articles that I've come across in my own research on journal article databases. Robert Tisserand, who is an essential oil expert, aromatherapist, and also some information from Dr. McCullough and Dr. Axe.
I love those guys. Yeah, they're great.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, the Environmental Working Group Skin Deep website is what I would suggest to listeners as a really easy resource.
Great place to start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Well, look, I think it's amazing that you have created these products yourself from scratch. I wouldn't even attempt to do something like that. I have to put my hand up. I just think it's incredible. You've kind of created these things from scratch. Do you have like a bestseller?
Yeah, we do. So our best sellers would definitely be our deodorant paste. So we call it
okay.
It's a natural deodorant paste.
Yep.
Our Saving Grace Repair Balm and our Green Gypsy face mask.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like the deodorant is a big game changer for a lot of people that first start using natural products, or like people that first start talking to us. Once they realise that a natural deodorant actually can work for them, then it really opens their eyes to, the possibilities of, cleaning up, their whole skincare range as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
Yeah.
as you said, not do it in one big hole. It's very hard to kind of change a lot, but, baby steps by starting with one thing, and everyone needs deodorant.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes.
That's for sure. I noticed too that you've mentioned on your website too that all your products you blend love into each product. Would you mind elaborating a little bit on that for us?
Sure.
Yeah.
So Matt will talk about that one.
Yeah, so I suppose each individual item, it's handcrafted. That's a big thing that people don't realise about our products. So we don't just bang them out like a sausage factory. That there's a lot of, that's what we call it, love that goes into it.
Yeah.
So these are some of the steps that we follow for each batch. For every bottle, bag, tin, jar, they're all treated equally. So like step one, we'd cleanse the space with sage. That's also known as so it's a ritual that's been used for thousands of years.
Yeah.
Like a spiritual shower. Native American shamans burnt the dried sage.
Yep.
That was to absorb evil, conflict, anger, illness. So when we say we've got no nasties, we mean it. Another thing that we do is ensure that our mindset is positive and filled with good intent. So, like a simple mix of breathing exercises or meditation, mindfulness. It's often practiced before we start our blending. Yeah.
And then, while we're blending, we'll put something uplifting and positive on, so a bit of music, whatever I feel like grooving to on the day, I guess. And like I'll have some energizing essential oils being diffused, like lemongrass or ginger or some citrus. So that helps us to release our feel-good endorphins so that we can pass them on to each and every product. And then after they've been bottled, tinned, bagged, jarred, however they're coming, we put them in a space with some crystals, which, we charge our crystals every full moon, and we use rose quartz and clear quartz, because the rose quartz in particular is known as the crystal of love, and it helps promote self-love, love for others. It soothes grief and heartache and helps with any suppressed emotions so that we can heal from the heart, opening us up to receive and give love.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, wow. You definitely wouldn't get that sort of treatment from, the big corporations. As you said, they're churning them out like a sausage factory.
Yeah. And I mean, like if we can't achieve any one of those sort of steps, then we just put the blending on hold for another day as well. And to some people that probably sounds a bit too spiritual or hippie, and that's okay, because I suppose the rest of the process, which is just pure natural ingredients, is going to tick all the other boxes.
Yeah.
So I suppose it comes at it from a couple of different directions.
Yep.
Keeping everything, just clean and pure,
Great. I love it. I also noticed you said, Matt, on your website there that, we created Bauer to make a difference and not an income. I think that's a pretty big statement.
Well, for a start, like Candice said initially, it was created because she had trouble finding products that aligned with her values.
Yeah.
And she really wanted to heal her skin naturally. We felt like if we were looking for certain things in a product that was difficult to find, then maybe other people were facing the same challenge. So we wanted to offer Australia and
now New Zealand.
Yeah.
Oh, you've expanded across the ditch to NZ. Wow, that's exciting.
Got an order from Malaysia as well.
So we're now shipping to quite a few international destinations.
Wow, you're global. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
No, it's really exciting. 100% natural skincare brand. Using organic ingredients where possible. We're handcrafted, eco-friendly, Australian made, which is very important to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Definitely important to us, and most importantly, blended with the love factor that we just went through the steps. Every product that we blend, it's chosen because it's something that we use in our household daily or at least weekly. So therefore we feel like we're offering products that other people would use regularly. We also want to do our part to give back to communities and the environment. So we donate products or a product for every purchase that people make from bearbybauer.com.au, no matter how small or big the purchase is. We provide, so that's something that we do. We donate a product.
So for every product purchase, we will donate something as our way to give back to the community.
Wow.
We also provide carbon neutral delivery for standard parcels.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I honestly feel like these things in particular, how we incorporate the love into the products, that just sets us apart from the others. So we genuinely just want to help support people have the healthiest skin possible and their healthiest self. And only after our products and service ticks all these boxes do we then make sure from a business point of view that it's viable. So,
Well, look, I know that you're definitely a product of your products because you Candice, you in particular, sorry, I'm just going to focus on Candice here for a minute, Matt, but, your skin, it looks amazing. Like you're just kind of glowing. You've just got the most amazing skin.
Thank you. I'm still recovering, like I said, from the post-pill acne, but there's times that I wanted to give up and go back to the conventional treatments, but I've tried all that before and it just doesn't work. And I feel like this time sticking to natural products and, just supporting my skin rather than trying to treat it as such has really helped. And it's a slower process, but it's given me sustainable results, I guess, permanent results. So yeah, still on my journey, but definitely 100% better than what I was when I first started. So that means a lot to me.
Yeah, no, I mean it sincerely. I remember when I first met you and it's like, oh, wow. I mean, you are 20 years younger than me, I have to say. But anyway, that's minor details. minor details. But yes, look, so how can people get in contact with you? Like your website? Because I know that you've got a very generous offer for our listeners today too, which is really it's a lovely thing that you've got a little bit of a promotion for our listeners.
Yeah, we do. So we wanted to offer all of the Healthy Shift Worker listeners 15% off discount code on all of our Bear by Bauer branded products. So the code is Healthy Shift Worker 15, all in capitals, and it's valid until the 31st of March. So all of the discount details will be in the show notes. But to find us, you can check us out on Insta or Facebook at Bear by Bauer, and that's spelled BAREBYBAUER, or just go to www.bearbybauer.com.au. So hopefully, people will appreciate that offer. Would love for everyone to check us out. And if you have any questions at all, like to the listeners or anyone, whether it be about skin or health in general, would love for you to reach out to us. And we together will try and help you. And if we can't, we know someone that will be able to, and we'll be able to direct you in the right direction. That was a lot of directs. We'll be able to point you in the right direction. But yeah, easiest way to contact us is probably just on social media. Just send us a message.
That is the fastest,
Yeah, cool. I love the discount code, Healthy Shift Workers 15. That's great. That's great. So you're helping the shift workers to become healthy from the outside.
Absolutely. And the inside is so important, but our environment and what we expose ourselves to every single day can have such a great impact on our overall health when we truly think about it.
Definitely. I think you've made, with our conversation, that you've really probably opened the eyes of some people that have never really thought about this before. As I said at the beginning, we can put a lot of focus on the food that we eat, which is important. But at the same time, I think if we're eating really healthy, but we're putting all this other toxic stuff on our skin, it's really, we're never going to be as healthy as we possibly can be. So, Look, it's been such a pleasure chatting with you both. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast, Matt. It's your inaugural visit. It was lovely to sort of chat with you again, and obviously, Candice, it's good to have you on for the second time.
Thank you for having us. It's been great talking about this with you.
Yeah, I know it's your passion with you guys. As I said, when I met you, we'd sort of been speaking a little bit through social media, and then when we met in person, and really got to know just how passionate you guys are with this. And I think if anyone's passionate about something, you really need to be sort of really following them, because they will usually do a lot of research to find out as much information as they can. And like I said right at the beginning of the podcast, a shout out to you guys, because you really are just the most down to earth, friendly, dare I say country kind of people. I'm a country person as well. It's just kind of how we are, a bit fairly easygoing and laid back, but you're just really, really lovely people. And congratulations, happy first anniversary of your business.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
same
Audra.
to you. We love that you're such a down-to-earth person as well, and you're doing great things for the shift workers out there. It's amazing.
Yep, that's right.
Thank you. That's very sweet. Very, very sweet. Alrighty, so that's it for another edition of the Healthy Shift Worker podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please feel free to share it with other shift workers you think may benefit, as this will help me to spread the Healthy Shift Worker message to shift workers and organisations all around the world. It also helps if you leave us a rating, preferably 5-star, if you really liked the episode, as this will help my podcast gain an even bigger reach, which will enable me to help more people. So thank you so much for tuning in and listening. Until next time, may you continue to be as healthy as you possibly can be, despite working 24/7.
This has been a production of TheWellnessCouch.com. Check us out on Facebook and join in the conversation on Facebook.com/The Wellness Couch. Subscribe to each show on iTunes and check us out on Twitter, The Wellness Couch.